no parking, yield, Turner's Corner Cafe, a Daytona 675R. Welcome everybody to another Chase on Two Wheels first ride. Today we are going to take this beautiful 2017 Triumph Daytona 675R for a first ride. This one is compliments from the beautiful people over at Triumph. You guys saw the speed triple last time. They're giving me a Daytona 675 this time. This is the R model. It's got all the upgrades. Let's see how it does up in the mountains. Alright, ladies and germs, today we have a special edition first ride. We are here at Blood Mountain, or Blood Mountain's a little bit that way. You can kind of see the peak up at the top. We're going to head that way on the Daytona 675. I don't know why I have an accent. I'm excited, man. This is one of those bikes that you guys have told me a lot to ride. Finally, Triumph was like, Chase, I see people wanting you to ride the Daytona. And I'm like, yeah? They're like, why don't you take one for a while? Okay. Alright, we got quick shifter, we got all kinds of awesome stuff. Let's sit on this thing. This bike feels really, what is it, skinny. Very skinny. How far up? Jesus Christ. Let's get it cranked up. I was about to say, did I do something wrong? I am really forward, like, oh look, you guys can kind of see, like, look how far forward I am. Let's get my legs up on the, oh shoot. This is like a straight up race position. Alright, let's just get this thing going because it is hot and I want to ride it. Oh, it's got that Triumph sound, dude. Oh, I love, ever since I rode the speed triple, man, that little whistle that Triumphs have, that, oh, it's so good. It is so good. This bike feels so thin. And look at all this carbon-y stuff and stuff. I gotta pay attention. This ain't a regular first ride. Okay, from what I've, okay, it's got new tires on it, so it's gonna lean over a lot, but wow. This bike falls over. Hold on, let's do it again. So from what I've heard about this bike, it's very track focused. Like, oh my God, it just wants to keep going over. So with this bike being named the Daytona 675, it does have a few more horsepower than your regular 600. And it's also not the inline 4 that most Japanese bikes are. This is a British brand. Triumph is a British brand. This bike has the inline 3-cylinder, which, if all the numbers are correct, should give you a more linear power band and much more torque down low. Because if you guys have seen my first rides with a typical 600, like the Gixxer 600, CBR 600, R6, you have a ton of power on those bikes, but it's way high up in the rev range. This bike should give us a lot more power down low and then linearly raise up to the more powerful power band. What's it rev up to? Yeah, rev limiter hits at 15 grand. Good Lord. All right, so we're in third, going about 6,000. I'm gonna throttle up a little bit. Oh wow, okay, so yeah, it started picking up. It looked like my butt started moving back at about 7.5. Oh, it still has a, wow. Okay. I'm really surprised the most at how light the bike feels. I'm racing. This bike just wants to be leaned over. I'm not even trying hard. It's really interesting. The bike is leaning over and I'm not pushing it. I'm not trying. Oh, that sound. Okay. I know it's supposed to be more torquey. I'm not feeling it a crazy amount, but I mean, it definitely kicks in earlier. So one thing about this bike also, comparative to all the other Japanese bikes, is it is more expensive. This bike comes in brand new at about 14 grand. That's MSRP, so I'm not sure what you could walk out of a dealership paying, but that's a lot of money. That's a good few grand over its comparable other 600 bikes. This bike is so focused for this road. That cop is probably gonna pull me over. It just leans over so, it's very fluid how it leans over, and it being so light, it feels really stable for being so light. I'm really surprised, because one of the things that you normally have to forego when you get a lighter bike is it doesn't feel as planted as heavier bikes do. It's kind of one of the pros and cons. So like I said, this bike also has a quick shifter, so no blipping, no nothing. You saw it go up. It does not automatically blip and downshift, but I mean, you don't want an automatic bike. Just going around turns and back and forth, the agility of this bike is very linear. I guess I would say it's linear. It doesn't just fall over quickly. It's very smooth to go over. Now, it goes over a lot, but the way it does it is very, very smooth. Let's see the downshifting. Let's see, I would expect it to be way stronger than that. Interesting. Okay. Man, you know, when you read a review and you're like, oh, this bike is made for the track, you're like, okay, cool, of course, it's a sport bike. But this bike just eats a turn. And it's like, why are you going so slow? It makes you feel... It's very confidence-inspiring going into a turn. I have full faith that I could outrun that cop why am I shifting? I have full faith that I could outrun that cop had he turned around. Not only is there the quick shifter, it's the lightness, it's everything. This is a hell of a track bike, it feels like. Granted, I'm, you know, on public roads, so I'm not gonna push it as hard as I would on a track, but there have been fewer bikes that felt this ready to go to the track. The only other bike I can kind of think about it in memory is maybe the 2015 R1. That bike was very sharp though. It's a very different style bike than this, or at least it felt like that. Honestly, I was looking at the bike specs and I'm like, dude, that's too expensive for a 600. People, for that price, somebody can just get a liter bike. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This might be legit. That cop is not coming back. Triumph. Look at Triumph doing good on these bikes. I'm surprised I don't see more people with these bikes now that I'm riding it. I'm interested to see if it's a good track. Oh my god, that is giant. No thanks. This is a really great bike to ride hard. Holy cow. Bike's also got ABS. I forgot to mention that. I'm pretty sure that's standard in all of the Daytonas, not just the R model. Sometimes I feel like my R6, I push it to where it needs to go. But this bike, I don't feel like I'm even tapping it. Listen to the bike. Oh, quick shifters will make you lazy. Oh, wow. So what else? The seating position, like I said, super aggressive, but you know what? the second you start riding this thing, you 100% understand why the seating position is so aggressive. It feels like a very tied in, like wrapped and bowed up present. Like everything seems to work really well. The handlebars seem a little thin, but I mean they're in a position where I like them. I feel like I'm in the zone where I need to be riding this type of bike. I have noticed when I go through sections of the clouds, like right now we're in a very overcast situation, but right up here when we go to the bright section, watch the tack. It's very hard to see this area when you're in bright sunlight. I don't really like the black background with the gray text. I need a little more contrast to see what's going down with that. Alright, let's brake coming into this turn. Yeah, it's got Brembo brakes, man. You got to be careful with those things. They are powerful. Luckily, again, you have ABS to slow you back down to make sure you don't lock it up. Listen to it. I don't want to get going too quick, man, but I want you guys to be able to hear that engine. Wow, those brakes, I barely put one finger on. I'm gonna bend my helmet down so you can see. The only braking I'm needing is done with the just slightest touch of one finger like this. That's as much brake as I need, because already watch the bike. Well, you can see my body just gets thrown forward if I put even a little bit of power on the brake. The seat's kind of as compared to other super sports. It's about the same. I think the ZX6R and the Gixxer are probably going to still hold the most comfy seat position. I did let my fiance sit on this bike, and she told me the passenger seat was more comfortable than the R6. That's not saying much, but that's some info. The mirrors seem to be pretty solid. Are they the like adjust internally type thing? Oh, I don't know what the hell's going on there. So the mirrors are kind of a typical super sport situation. All right, let's take a look at this bike. I'm gonna have to roll it up a little bit to throttle it up, but when I do the exhaust, is it gonna go anywhere? Okay, no, cool. All right, guys, 2017 Triumph Daytona 675R. Again, this is the R model. The bike comes in this pearlish white. I don't know if you guys can see. What's up, guy? This bike is currently the pearl white version. You can see it flaky, maybe. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It also comes in black. I don't know why you would get the black, because this white looks so awesome. I love it. This is my GoPro. That is not stock with the bike. Noted. Exhaust looks pretty cool. You guys know how I feel. Black engine. Beautiful. There's the Brembo brakes. The Öhlins front suspension. You got the Öhlins rear shock. This bike is like, what do you need in a bike? What do you need to put on it? Let's put some Brembos, because those will stop you in a heartbeat. Let's put some Öhlins suspension on it and a shock, because, you know, that's like top quality. This stuff's awesome, man. This color scheme I love. Like these little things, dude. You guys know how to win my heart. You put a little red accent on something and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. The only thing I don't like about this bike, I'm okay with everything here. Obviously, you could take that away. I love the little carbon accents, but what I don't like, the front seems really long. Like, look how long the front is. It goes up to here, all the way down to there. It's a little long. I'm more of a fan of those sharper bikes, but you know, I could live with these rounded headlights. Some of the shots I got of them, I ended up liking them a lot. This thing is giant. But that's her, man. 2017 Daytona 675R. I'm going to roll her up here so you guys can hear the exhaust, though. If you guys are regular fans of the First Starts, you know what's about to go down. I'm about to let you listen to the stock exhaust here with the GoPro microphone. If you want to hear what this bike actually sounds like with a good audio recorder, and if you want to see some high-definition pictures, I put that over on my website, Chaseontwowheels.com. You guys click over there. There will be a top link in the description. Click over there and check that out. But for now, let's listen to the Daytona 675R. That moment when... I like noises like that. All right. Very sharp sounding. The exhaust, to me, gives you a, like, I'm not messing around kind of note. And I like it. Alrighty guys, let's get on this steed and continue this first ride and finish it up. And I got a quick shifter and I don't know how to use it. So if for some reason you haven't listened to any of this first ride this entire time, there is one specific type of person I'm going to recommend this bike to, along with other people. If you like going to the track, my gosh, you have a fantastic option to take to the track. I think this is probably in my top 3 favorite bikes that I want as a track bike. This bike feels more ready for the track than Holly does, and Holly is just this sharp monster of a bike. And she's great at the track. I think this bike would whoop the dog crap out of Holly, without a shadow of a doubt, with a rider with the same skill on both bikes. So if you're looking for like a daily rider, I think this bike is actually a lot better than something like a CBR or an R6, because like I said earlier, the power band on those bikes is very peaky. It gets to a point and those bikes are rockets. Whereas this bike has a much more linear power band because of that inline 3-cylinder. It feels so much smoother everywhere. And granted, a lot of that has to do with just like the more expensive parts that this bike has in it. I mean, you can look at this bike and tell it has got a lot more money put into it than something like an R6, a CBR, a Gixxer. And that justifies that price point. You know, like, you can't get better parts and pay less. So, downsides, the bike's expensive. There's no getting around that. Do you get what you pay for? I think so, man. So by the time you get the other Japanese 600s and you upgrade all the parts so that they're comparable to this thing, you're going to spend the same amount of money, if not more. Touring, I think I'd skip on this bike for touring, but I'm going to say that about every single type of 600. There's not many 600s, if any, that I could think of that would be good for touring. So if you're looking for that, I don't know if this is your right thing. First bike material? Absolutely not. You will probably die. There's no rider modes, which is something I would expect with such a big package, but I mean, it is what it is. The bike would be even more expensive. But without having any sort of rider modes and it's all up to your throttle modulation, I don't know if I would recommend a bike like this for a first bike. It is just too much power for you. But guys, that's about all I got for the Daytona 675 first ride. I did not expect... I expected the bike to be good because it's more expensive and all, and most of the time you get what you pay for. But I didn't expect it to be good in the ways that it is for the price. I expected the engine to be torquier, but I didn't expect it to handle so well. So it's interesting stuff what these first rides do, man. We all learn from them, I feel like. Wow, this road is garbage right here. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this first ride, make sure to hit that like button to let me know that you enjoyed it. And make sure to subscribe if you did like this video. And before I get out of here, I want to give a big thanks to Triumph USA. They're the guys that let me borrow this bike for the extended period of time that I'm going to have it. So make sure to let them know with the hashtag TriumphAmerica. Anyways, guys, my name is Chaseontwowheels. I am out of here. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. So that was me accelerating to kind of end the video to give you guys the assumption that I was gonna like throttle up and ride off hard, but I'm not. It was all fake. I just wanted to come clean with you.